This one's for the mamas out there. Well, for my mama, at least. Today, July 7th, is my mama's birthday. And I gotta tell y'all this about my mom. You know, we have some really influential figures come across in our lives, people that motivate us. I feel like a lot of times parents really don't get the credit that they really deserve. They do, but it's not like the outside influences, you know. I don't hear a lot of people talk about their parents very often. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm not paying attention enough. But I got to tell y'all this about my mom. You talk about influences and people that just kind of put you on a path in life. When I was growing up, sometime, I guess around age 9, maybe 10, my mom decided that she was gonna make the change. Now, my mom, y'all, look, I'm 5'6". You know, I'm right in between my parents when it comes to height wise. Okay, like my mom's about 5'2". My dad's about 6'1". I come in at 5'6". Okay, she is not like, you know, figure wise. Most people would look at her and think, why in the world would you decide to start some kind of fitness journey? You know, like what? They look at her and think like, you're no bigger than a toothpick. But that was just what she wanted to do. She thought she needed to make some changes. And so around that age, I remember seeing her wake up at about 4 or so in the morning. I would be asleep, you know, almost about time to wake up for school, but I'd be asleep and I'd hear her getting things going real early in the morning. She'd do her breakfast, maybe do a load of laundry or something, you know, I just hear her piddling. And she would go to work. And I didn't, when you're a kid, you don't realize this, but like, she would go to work, and I just knowing the job that she had, I'm sure the last thing on her mind was gonna be, I'm ready to exercise after I get done with my job for the day. But she would wrap up her work day, and she'd gather me up, and we'd go to the local YMCA. And we would be there for an hour and a half, and sometimes maybe a little longer. And she would just do this consistently. And as a kid, I'm in the gym playing basketball, you know. I'm not really paying no mind to what she's got going on. But being an adult now and understanding that, hey man, that's the sacrifice and the effort that has to go into the change that she wanted to make. She was consistent like this, y'all, for years. And then, you know, once I started, you know, having like after school, like football and, you know, baseball and stuff, I'd see her up at the school, maybe while I was practicing or something, and she'd be walking or running, you know, just doing her workouts around me. Also, being a parent at this point, I can understand why she changed her setting as well. Just wanting to be involved and still being able to take care of the things in her life that she needed to do. Her and I have never really had conversations about this. But when you grow up and see one of your parents doing this, all I can say is, looking back on it now, it's no wonder, you know, I have the passions, you know, and, you know, just the things that I have for fitness, groundwork, it's her. It's got to be her. And so I thank her for that, Mom. I thank you for that, because some of my memories some of the best memories and some of the best periods of my childhood consist of going to the Y when we were younger, and you going up there and working out and seeing the dedication that you put towards making a change in your body and your mind. And guys, it wasn't just the working out part too. She would make conscious food choices. If we would go out to eat, she would make conscious food choices that were that correlated to the changes in her body that she was wanting to make. And she did that with everything. And so, she did it with, it wasn't just the types of foods, it was with the portions as well. She was really smart about the portions, her portion sizes that she ate at each meal. And, again, consistency should have been her middle name because she was a perfect example of that. And so, Mom, I thank you for all that, for that example growing up. Hopefully, I can display that for my kids as well. And, when they ask, hey, what got you started with all that? Is Yamimi. Yamimi got me started with it all. So, thank you. And guys, if I'm gonna fill y'all in also on something else we got going on with the channel. I'm gonna keep some of the workout, some of the workout content heading y'all's way, but here in the next couple weeks, I'm hoping to launch a series of interviews with incredible people with incredible stories. And these incredible people, who are they? They might be friends of mine. They might be, athletes from around the area. People that I've been able to reach out to and let them know, like, hey, I'd love to have you on this channel because I feel like people need to hear your story, not just from me, but from you as well. And so these interviews are going to be, kind of extensive, but it's going to help you dive in to the personality of the ones being interviewed as well. And hopefully you can hear something from them that you can't get from me. And you'll say, wow, there's other people going through it and this is how they overcame it. So maybe that's a formula that's going to work for me. So if y'all are out there watching this today, tell your mama you love them. It's important. That's an everyday thing. Should be. And I want to say happy birthday to my mama. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. We all love you, and we love you for just being the great Mimi and for the great mom that you are. And be looking out for, hopefully, this interview series will start in 2 weeks. I'm hoping to have the first one drop sometime around the 19th, July 19th. But, that's kind of a work in progress right now. So, you guys get up, go work out. It's a nice day today. It ain't got to be at the gym. You can go run, go walk, go do something, But make sure that what you're doing are moments of efficient actions towards efficient and effective actions towards your goals. So we'll catch you guys later.